welcome. Welcome, welcome. I figured it out. I just haven't used it in a while, so I'm just I'm going to draw this owl. I've got my palette back up on the screen and I've got my layers here. So I am going to start with a light blue background. So I'm going to click on my background. I'm going to go to a sky colour. I reckon about that, maybe. It's not so grey. That. And then I'm going to go paint drop, which is my little paint bucket over here, and I'm going to tap on that. That makes my background blue. So then I'm going to add a layer. How do I add a layer? Plus. Yep. And why is it a group? Oh, nope, that's all right. I didn't want to add a group, I wanted to add a layer. Oops. Hang on, so I'm going to get rid of that now. How do I delete it? Go there. Nope. Oops. Nope. Oh, goodness. Doesn't matter. We'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to get a dark pen. I'm going to go to my brushes and I'm going to go to fountain pen because that's my favourite. I'm going to make it small. Go back onto brush. Make my pen small. I'm going to start. Oh, it needs to be smaller than that. Here's my undo. I'll just erase. Oh, no, I won't. Now undo. Undo. Which one's undo? Got to find undo. Undo fondue. Which button do I press to undo? Hang on. I'm just going to Google again. Undo on my. So I've got a toolbox which I use for undo on toolbox. Which is what my little handheld thingy. Control, oh no, on toolbox. Control Z. I'll just do Control Z. That's easier. There we go. Control Z is much easier. We'll just do that. So, and I'm going to do that. Okay. So now I'm going to make my brush a whole lot smaller. Get my picture back, my references, and. Hey, Bacon! Thank you. I don't know why my alerts are not working now. Oh, my word. Talk about all the things I updated. Bad idea. Hang on, I'll give you a shout out, mate, in just a second. Thank you for the biddies, and I have no idea why my alerts didn't work. Didn't hear a thing. That's okay. I'll just have to watch my chat, won't I? Create a dashboard. I think you already did. I did, yes, because I didn't get to do one the other day because my doodah was broken. So I thought, you know what? You had a video alert? Oh, you did. I didn't hear it. That's weird. All good. Okay, as long as it worked. All right, so we're going to go the grey. I'm going to go to my pen. Make it really little. And I've got to remember to have my bird on the lower part of the page. Oh, actually, maybe not that low. We'll go Control Z again. We're going to move it over. Move it over to here, about here, because his wingspan is huge. So I want him to fit in. But he's basically got a ball-shaped body. So how have you been anyway? What's been happening? How have you been? So just dead his body. Now his head and his body is 2 times the length of his head, 1, 2. And then his tail is also 2 times. So his tail. So I measured his back and I go 1, 2 times, so it's about there. His tail's curled down. Hello, welcome back, Shane. Zero change? Yeah, oh God, it's all been happening here. It's all been happening. I've got a dog at the vet hospital, one of my little Pippi dogs. She's at the vet's hospital. So hopefully I hear how she's going this morning. So it's been a pretty crazy couple of days, hence no streams or anything. Now his wing starts at the back here and is goes over there, comes right to the front of the page. I'm just going to rough in the basic shapes. I'll fix it up as I go. And then that wing is the same length as his body. I've got that a fraction bigger, but that's fine. And that wing, his lower wing, is also the same length as his body. So I'm just going to mark a line down here. That's about the length of his body. And then it comes right to the back like that, and then out there, sort of scoops around. Top of his wing is there, like that. And I'll tidy up these shapes. I'm just roughing them all in as we speak because it all looks a tad weird right about now, but that's okay. Mum says, hello, hello, Mum. Hello, Mum. Give her a huge big hug for me. So what do you guys got on for the day? What are you all doing or the night, whatever it is, wherever you are? Might be evening where you are. It is, what is it here? It's 7:30 in the morning here. I've got to work a little bit later. I'm waiting for the phone call from the vet. Then I've got to go to work a little bit after. Oh, it's all happening. It's all happening. Now, up here, this is where I start to define little shapes of the detail of the wings and things. So you can see I've got a basic outline. Now his face, I'm going to work on his face a little. I've been doing lots of drawing on my iPad lately, because I haven't had time to stream, so I've literally just been sitting on my couch drawing on my tablet, on my iPad, which is really good. I just haven't had time to be in the office, to be in the art room. Work? I thought you were talking. Well, I did, but then my kids started a business. So I now pick and pack Pokemon cards at their little factory that they've got set up. So it's good fun, but so I'm helping the kids. I'm helping the kids. Got to support your kids. And I love Pokemon, so it works really well. Yeah, so that stopped. Literally, I had a couple of months of nothing, and then it happened. Back to work. But not full time, just part time, and just with the kids. So, never stop being a mum, even when they're 30. Never stop being a mum. Now, drawing his eyes in. All right. I've just realised I don't have my cursor so you can see where I'm drawing. Or maybe I do, it's just little. All right. What's that little muscle man emblem thingy? That's cute. All right. Now here's one eye's facing that way. The other eye's in the middle. I don't want him to look cross-eyed or weird. He probably will for a little while anyway, but that's okay. I'm going to make it a little bit larger, trying not to wreck everything. Make it a little bit larger. Now he's got, I can see he's got like feathery bit on his back. I keep trying to touch screen because I've been drawing on iPad. Other feathers come down here. Now I can start to define these feathers a little bit. Got real fatty feathers, real fatties. Come down here. Around here. All right. Let's do the basic shapes of these bottom feathers. And how's the gaming going, Bacon? What's been happening? What you been playing? Oh my God, I started Elden Ring again. Well, that was a bad idea. I can't even get through. I finished the game and I can't even get through the first bloody boss. Watching old movies. Ooh, what are you watching? I love old movies. Love old movies. I love stuff from the 40s and 30s. I used to watch all the 1948. Ooh, nice. Oh. See, I need to lock. Undo. Control Z. I can't double tap. So I've got to lock my background layer. But background layer is locked. Why? I don't know why that's doing that. What am I going to do? What happens if I do that? I'm going to try and erase again, see if that works. Hang on. Nope, won't let me erase. Interesting. Why? Hang on. Ooh, that doesn't work. Nope. I'm going to do that and then go another layer. Yep, that's fine. So then I want to go layer. Okay, that might work. Now I'll try and erase. Now it won't let me erase. Bugger. I've already messed up. This is why I have one layer, because I always messed up. Treasures of Sierra Madre. Nice. Nice. I'm going to have to open that up again because it's not going to let me erase otherwise. Oh, it's still not going to let me erase. Yay. Body. Poo bum. What? Okay, hang on. Unlock. Now it'll let me erase. No, it won't. Why won't it let me erase? What have I done? Why won't it let me erase? Can I erase it too little? Nope. It's going to have to press buttons until I figure it out. Oh, not that one. Definitely not that one. And not that one. And not that one. Apparently, I can't do it to any of them. Oh, my goodness, people. I'm very rusty at this. I'm going to lock my layers. See what happens. Nope, unlock. Why can't I erase? Unlock. Why can't I erase? I've got my eraser on. Nope. Try one layer at a time. Nope. Nope. Why won't it let me erase? What is it doing? Leave that one. Take that one. Okay. Nope. It's not going to let me do anything. Am I going to have to start again? Let me see. Remove layer. Shift and delete. So I'm going to remove that layer. Shift. Which one's shift? Oh, shit. That's shift. Delete. And we'll see if this works. Delete. Okay, I'll remove that one. Removed that one. Let's try again. Erase. Nope. Why? I'm just going to start again because this is. And I'm going to highlight. I'm going to get rid of that one and delete. And then I'm going to go get my background back to normal if I can. No, I don't want that one. I want, nope. Oh. We're going to start a new drawing, people. New. Because that ain't working. It's just not playing. Okay, we're good. So we'll start again, shall we? And I'm going to go, actually, I've got to get a new size. Open, new. I want 2048 by 20 predefined. I want square. I want square 248 and I want resolution to be 600. How do I change that? Hang on, 600. I want 600 megapixels. 8. There we go. That's better. Right, let's start again, shall we? This time with feeling. And let's not have too many layers. I'm just going to start simple. Okay, let's go back to my grey pen. And we're going to do the background. It's going to be blue, a very pale blue. And then we're going to go paint bucket, and that one. Okay, so that's that. And I'm going to lock that. That's locked. Okay, we're good. Go to paint layer 1. And go to my paintbrush. And then I'm going to get this grey. And we're going to start again. And make it not so big. That's fine. Go Control Z. Then we're going to Control Z, undo, and then make it smaller. About 11. That's fine. and do the body again. So draw the basic head shape. I made it a bit thicker this time, it's a bit more visible, a bit easier to see. And the head, 3 times the head. One is the body, so it's about there. It's about 3 times the width of the head. Like that. Body comes down there. I measure everything against the head, and then the same width, same length rather. His head and his chest down a bit deeper. Same length from the back of his head to the butt of his tail is the tail length. So his tail should come down to about there. And it's on a downward look because he's sort of lying down. Mum says good night, Mum, sleep well. And his wing comes back about here and curls down. Now, again, the length of his wing is the whole length of his body. From the tip of his head to the base of his tail is the length of his wing. So I'm just watching the curl, the shape is in flight. And I'm just going to just basic shape it like that. Then exactly the same is length of his head from the point of his head to the tip of his tail is the length of his wing that way. And again, I go up here. I draw the basic shape in. A bit more dynamic sort of shape than that, but that'll do for now. Get that sort of blocked in. So that's his basic shape. Okay, so a bit of his body comes up there. All right, now stick with this layer because that works. I'm going to erase. Whoop. Why is it doing that? Why can't I lock? Okay, it's not going to let me erase. Protect the background. I thought I'd lock the background. Oh, I see what I've done. So I'm going to lock that in. No, I'm not. I should have done another layer. Okay, we're Control Z. We're Control Z. I have to lock that layer. I've just figured out what I did wrong. So I'm going to lock that layer. So that layer's locked. Then I add another layer. Then I add a layer. Paint layer 2. Okay, now I should be fine. Oh my God. Okay. We'll get there. Again, make that smaller, a bit smaller. Okay. Head shape. So length of the head. 3 times. We'll get there in the end. Won't happen overnight, but it will happen, people. So 1, 2, 3 is about there. Just get the basic shape in, and his tail is from the length of his head to the back of his butt. Curl down like that. That. And there's a feather there. Can't see the back of his tail with his wing. Right. Whole length of his body from the tip of his head to the tip of his face is there. And it comes up and over like that. I'll just draw a basic shape. Comes into about there. This is where being able to draw proportions is really critical. Now again, the same length, so that's about the right length, and then it curls around like that. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. We got there. Took a few goes, but we got there. Just shows you it's not a straightforward process. Sometimes you've got to fiddle and fuss a little bit to get stuff where you want it. And I'm very much a beginner at krita. I usually use, like I generally have been using my iPad, which is very basic, very simple, very Jenny friendly. Love the Procreate app. Super duper easy to use. So, his beak, like that, rough shapes. He's got his feathers come down there. It's eye feathers. I will zoom in on this more in a little bit, but for now I'm just getting the basics in. That iris pupil, sorry, is there. He's looking straight ahead. Takes up about half of his eyeball. All right. Come down there. Just pick out the basic sort of shapes. He's got feathery around his beak. He's got... I can now go from about the middle of his head at the back. His wing goes up and over the top. And then it's his flight feathery bits just here. That's the feather shapes there. We'll just rough up those edges. Right, now this, he does have his wing curves around there. You can see the underside of that wing just under there a little bit. Can't see his feet. I've got to take that wing back a fraction. There we go. We've got his basic sort of shape. Now I can start to define the feathers again. He's got very thick flight feathers, very heavy set. These guys are almost silent too. You can't hear them. Okay, so I'm just going to draw the basic feather shape. Do you have your coffee? I do have my coffee. Thank God. I couldn't survive without my coffee this morning. Oh, yes. And I've just started having almond milk and trying to be a bit healthier. We get off the sugar. So I've got my almond milk and my natural sugars. A bit of honey. And then I'm trying to be a bit healthier. Now I'll see if I can erase. Yay! I'm erasing. It's working. That makes my soul very happy. Just saying. Okay. I'll make my eraser a little bit bigger. At the end of this, I'm going to delete the drawing, so you won't see the original under drawing. Okay, go back to my pen. And off that. Now the feathers get smaller. It's actually really yummy. Almond milk is very yummy. I have the sugar, the no added sugar. It's only got its own sugars in it. So these feathers, I'm not counting the feathers. I'm just eyeing it, sort of thing. It's a drawing. I need to make this one a bit longer, I think. The middle, that one, the second one, it's like your index finger. It's a bit, not your index finger, your middle finger. It's a bit longer than the rest. And then they sort of swoop back of the wing like that. The colours are beautiful. I'm going to have to pop off myself. Gone on my late nights, getting old, need to be in bed by 11. Oh, absolutely, mate. You have a good night's sleep. Thank you for hanging out for a little while and reminding me about my coffee, doll. Much appreciated. Hello, Jeremy. I'm good. I'm good. I'm cruising along. Just drawing an owl. I've played lots of games the last week or so. I've Elden Ringed. And now I'm just doing a drawing. I actually did a drawing for another YouTube channel the other day. I didn't stream it, I just made a short of it. Of a booby bird. And I really felt like drawing more birds. So I'm just erasing these little lines up the top here. That's okay. We're just roughing him in. That's good. Cool. Yeah, no, it's been a bit crazy actually. It's all been a bit crazy. Okay, I'm gonna pop these feathers up the top of his wing because you can see these downy sort of, not downy feathers there. Top of his wing's got sort of heavier feathers on the very top. And how have you been, Jeremy? What have you been up to, doll? Okay, just going to continue on with the shape, and you can see he's starting to take shape. starting to take shape. These ones you can see more of them because you can only see the underneath of these ones up the top right. You can see I used that basic squarish outline. Playing games drawer, mostly playing graveyard keeper. Cool. Very good. So I'm going to come along here, draw a few more of these feathers in, coming up like that. And then I can get rid of some. All right, so that's okay. I'm happy enough with that. He still looks a bit cartoony for the second, but he'll get better, promise. And I see pictures and I'm like, oh, I love that. I've got to draw it. And then I look at all the detail and go, oh, I might have bitten off a bit more than I can chew. But you can simplify. The trick is to simplify. You don't have to do every detail. You can just create the illusion of detail. In theory. Possibly. The best laid plans and all that. Happens to be so much. Yes. Let's tidy all this up. Get rid of these excess lines. So what have you got on? Oh, it's Monday morning here. Nice and early on a Monday morning. Okay. Happy with that? Ish. Get rid of, just delete, just obscuring. Erasing. I'm coming out with all the words this morning apparently. Erasing excess lines. That can all go. And I do treat this very traditionally because I am shocking at computer stuff. So I'm literally just digital art, traditional style and techniques. So this is exactly, if I was drawing with a pen and paper, I'm doing exactly the same thing. There's probably shortcuts and easier ways of doing stuff with computers, but I just still treat it quite traditionally because it works in my Jenny brain. My Jenny brain is not very good at adapting. So my Jenny brain's 55 years old and too old. Old dog and new tricks and all that jazz. All right. Can't teach it. Okay, so that's sort of basically the bird. I'm happy with that. Now we're going to start. I'm going to add a layer because I'm a glutton for punishment. Add a layer. And then I'm going to lock that one. And I'm hoping this works. We'll see. I'm going to go to a yellow for his eye. Go to a yellow. And see if it... Oh, it's going to let me. Isn't that amazing? Okay. I'm going to make this bigger now. If I press the right button. That's not bigger. That's bigger. I'm going to make this bigger. And I'm going to block in the yellow around his eye. Just to begin. Just to get a bit of colour on the page. Just a little. I'll change shapes of things as I go. He's got beautiful eyes, he really does. Alright. Like that. And then I'm going to go back to this dark grey, almost black, and I'm going to make it black. And I am going to go to my pen, back to my dip pen, make it a bit smaller, and I'm going to fill in the pupil. Fill in the pupil. Like that. And then I'm going to go also around the outside of the eye. Change the shape a fraction. This is where you can start to jiggle things around and define shapes a bit more. It's got beautiful wide eyes. There is a shadow over that eye, but I'll fix that up in a minute. again, I can only see the back part of this eye. Like that. Come back and around. Like that. Alright. I can add a little bit of his eyebrow. He's got woofy eyebrows. And I'm going to make his beak a bit grayer. So I'm going to just rough in shapes and colours. Just roughing it in. Now his eyes is 1.5 the width. Yeah, I've actually seen that. His beak is 1.5 the length of his eye. So you can get your proportions by measuring something against everything else. So this is just a rough filling in, getting things sort of where I want them. Sort of, kinda. Alright, I'm going to scroll out and have another look. Okay, he's got his little eyeballs happening. Oh, don't press that. Okay, undo, Control Z. And then, there we go. I'm getting there. Move it up a fraction. Now I'm going to add a little bit. We go back to that yellowy colour. And I'm going to add a little bit of a darker yellow, orangey colour. Because their eyes aren't just one flat colour. They've got different bits. I'm going to zoom in again. We've got a little bit of pigment change, a little bit of... Lana, thank you. Wow, thank you for the raid. I actually heard me bipper that time. Thank you for the raid. Shout out, if I can get my mouse to go up. Shout out, Lana goes art. Shout out at Lana goes art. Thank you, mate. How are you? What were you working on today? Look, my thing worked. Woohoo! How are you, doll? What were you working on? Anyone in my chat? Lana is the most amazing artist. I've known her for probably 4 or 5 years on YouTube. We're YouTube buddies. And beautiful watercolorist. Very knowledgeable about pigments. We did a live tutorial on a mountain landscape. Ooh, very nice. Very nice indeedly. I told the same that you're awesome. Aww. You're one of my dearest buddies here. Honestly, on YouTube. It's just, yes. Old mates. We're old mates from way back. And very similar techniques. I've diverged onto digital art. But Lana does the most magnificent traditional watercolour and drawings. Oh my God. But we've got very much the same style. Very much the same style of painting and animals. Thank you, mate. Thank you. So we're doing this owl today, and it's taken me a while to get my stuff together because I forgot how to use... I've been using my iPad, and I forgot how to use Krita. So, as you do. So I've been sort of fudging my way around trying to figure things out again, because iPad is very basic and very simple. So we're just working our way around. I've done the basic shapes, and now I'm trying to get a little bit of colour and a little bit of detail to give this little guy some perspective. So what time is it where you are, Lana? Because it's 7:30 on Monday morning here. I'm just going to block this in a bit more. And I was just saying midnight. Oh, wow. I can't stay up that late. Oh, my God. You guys are awesome. I'm in bed at like 9 p.m. I bring sleepy people. Oh, doesn't matter. I like sleepy people. I don't judge. I spend most of my life being a sleepy people. And how's your beautiful dog, Dante? Dante is also, he's got his own camera online a stream, which is really gorgeous. How's the old Dante been? You been behaving on camera for you? All right. So I'm just blocking the second He's actually quite orangey on this side, but I'm still going to go in with this dark. I can layer. I treat digital exactly the same as painting. He left around 9:30 to go to bed. Oh, little muffin. He was on stream begging for treats. Nice. He has a great sleep schedule. Yeah, the dogs have got it made. They've got it organised, haven't they? My dogs are the same. They're the same. They've got their little routines. They're funny little creatures. All right. I wish I was like that. Yeah, nah. I get really tired, then I go to bed and I'm like one of those dolls that you stand up and the eyes open, except I lie down and my eyes open. The second I go to bed, my brain starts. And I'm like, ugh, sleep's overrated apparently. I go to bed early, but yeah, I don't sleep well. But I still go to bed early because I try. I'm there in theory. I'm there in spirit because in the morning I have to go with him. Yes, funny story. I've got 2 little Jack Russells. I've got Bear and Pip. And Bear, because when we first got Bear, we had a dog called Fatty Boom. And Fatty Boom, we didn't have a doggy door, so you had to get up and take Fatty Boom outside. So then we got Bear, and Bear was a pup, so Bear learnt that you had to turn the lights on, you had to open the door to go to the toilet. So now, Bear's a 10-year-old Jack Russell. Fatty Boom went to heaven a while ago. But even though we've got a doggy door, you still have to get up, you still have to turn the light on, you still have to open the door for him. He refuses to modernise. He's like an old school doggo. He refuses to update his little memory banks, and he refuses to go outside without you and without the light on and without the door being open. He's like, no, that's how you taught me. That's how it's done. Apparently, there's no room for change in there at all. So he's a classic. He's a funny little dude. Oh, I'll introduce you. Come, Bear. Bear, come and say hello. Come and say hello, Bear. He's laying at my feet on his doggy bed. Come on up here, come and say hello. Up, come on, up. This is Bear. This is my little Jack Russell. A big sigh for the camera. So this is Bear. He's a stinky boy. He's a stinky boy. You made the rules, you have to abide by. I know, I need to follow my own rules. Hello, Lana. We're waving. We're waving. Hello, Lana. So this is Baba, my baby bear. My other little dog Pippi's at the vet at the second. So I'm waiting on a call from the vets actually. So hopefully she'll be okay. She's in great hands. So I'm just waiting. She's a very cute pup and he's a very cute pup. They're both the goodest puppies. They are the goodest puppies. So yes, I'm just waiting on a call from the vet. I'm hoping, oops, that's not the light colour, that's the light colour. I'm going to start adding some light. Yeah, Pippi's my Tasmanian devil. She's a dog, but she sounds like a Tassie devil. She's a weirdo. She's a funny little doodah. She's a funny little quirky doggy. And that's Bear's daughter. Is Miss Pip. Hopefully I'll get to pick her up in the next day or so. She's been at the vet for a couple of days. Hopefully. All going well. Okay, so I'm just popping in some light. So I'm just going to build up on my colour palettes. And the more colour I add, it sort of adds more, what's the word? It adds a bit more perspective, a little bit more shape to the animal, makes it look a little bit more realistic. And this is exactly the same as if I was drawing. I have done lots and lots of watercolour in the past, but I have to say I've adapted my technique to more of an acrylic style on here, where I mix up my colours. I don't have to work light to dark, which has been an interesting learning curve because I spent 30 years doing watercolour light to dark, untraining myself, retraining acrylic style, working in all the colours all at once. It's really been an interesting learning curve. So I'm just blocking it, and you can see it's very scribbly. It's not perfect. I still like my art, even though it's digital, I still want it to look painterly. So I do. I try and keep my artwork painterly. Sounds fun. It is. It is fun. It's very different. It's really nice not to have to clean a brush, I have to say. It's very nice. Yeah, it's cause I'm really slow at learning all the technologies. Like, it took me about 20 minutes to figure out how to do a layer. So I just don't do layers. I just do 2 layers. I have the drawing, and then I have the drawing, and then I have the colour. So I tend to stick to 2 layers max. So here I've got 4 layers, and I don't actually know why. Because one's drawing, one's background, one's drawing, and one's colour. I don't know why it's not 2 layers, why it's 3, but we'll figure that out one day when I grow up, which is probably never going to happen because I'm going to get old, but I'm never growing up. Growing up's overrated. I'm going to get old, but I'm never growing up. I'm going to be very immature for the rest of my life. So I'm just going to block all this in. And this is something that I can do that actually is really cool. Is as long as your outline's solid, I can press the little paint buckety thing. Where is it? There it is. And I can go like that, and it fills in that block for me. So I'm not spending, because I tend to still draw like I'm I fill in everything with every little brush stroke, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the bucket tool. I will use some of the tools to my advantage. I come around here. I'll add the highlights over the top in a minute. Get my bucket. Where's my bucket? There's my bucket. Tap that, and that fills that in. Just checking. Let's see my daughter. Go back to my brush. Oh! Ooh! Undo. That's what happens when you don't know what you're doing. You press the wrong button, and that happens. And you make everything go all the one colour. I'm going to add this colour in. This is like a base colour for his face. I'm going to go around here. And I'll add the other feather textures on the top. I'm just going to block in. Paint bucket, it's there, and tap, and that fills that in. Go back to my brush, have a quick look. Now these feathers are super light, so I'm going to make them a really light pinky colour. I will be going, this is just like a base wash. I'll speak in watercolour terminology. This is a base wash. I will add the detail colours over the top, like the little feathery, beautiful textures. But for the second, oops, I went on his head. Trying to double tap my screen is not going to work. There we go. That. Paint bucket and drop. So Lana, if you wanted to share your picture, I would be happy if you, I keep saying it's been that, I'm very rusty at streaming. I've streamed games the other day, but yeah. It was really bad. So if you want to pop your artwork that you were working on into chat, I'm more than happy for you too. Or if you want to go and get a cuppa, a nibbles, something to eat because you've been streaming for ages, I would guess. Don't do that. Undo. Control Z. There we go. I love undo. Undo's really good. I've become one with the undo button. You can't leave any gaps though when you do that, because when you do the bucket fill, it will fill the whole page. There we go, that's better. So I just fill every single, I'm just filling every feather. Okay, did that one live. So I'm going to, now let's see if I can still do this, hey. So I'm going to bring that up, click on it. Then, ooh, okay, so now if I can share, hang on, just bear with me. Let's see if I can do this. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Share right screen. Hang on, I'm going to move that over there. Move that one over there. And then I'll make that big. Okay. And then I go share. Oh, hang on. You watch me do this. There we go. And then, how do I share my screen? Share. Oh, hang on. Uh-oh. Twitch. Over there. Bring that one back over here. I'll get there, people. I'm getting there. And then, I go there. No, I don't. I go, there. I go there. No, I don't do that. Hang on. I forgot. Uh-oh. I pressed the button. Hang on. I go. How do I do it? Oh, it's on. Hang on. I know it's on Streamlabs. So bring up Streamlabs. Like that. And then I go share left screen. Hang on. And let's see if this works. Share. 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 Where's my share screen? Audio capture. Right screen. That didn't work. Okay, hang on. We'll try that again, shall we? Hang on. Move. Oh, ooh, don't move that. Okay, go there. Take that one over there. And then shrink that. Take that one back over there, like that. Make it big. Then bring up my other doodah. Where'd it go? That one. There. Okay, and then share left screen. Right screen capture. Yay! Look, I did it! Woohoo! Go me! So this is what Lana was working on today. Wow! Wow! That is gorgeous. It's amazing what you can do with watercolour. Like, that is so beautiful. The colours are so strong and lovely. And the light you've got hitting that whole side of that face of the mountain. Just here. I love this little red bit. I love those colours. I love, like, siennas and burnt siennas, transparent sienna. So what colour is that, Lana? That colour right there. That one. That beautiful little colour right there. That is gorgeous. Hang on, and then I go that one. And we're back. Except I've moved my thing. Hang on. Twitch, 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 twitch. Oh, there we go. Got it back. That one. And then I go. I've pressed all the buttons. I've pressed all the buttons. Just bear with me while I bring back my doodah so I can see my thing. Because I'm doing all the things and I've pressed all the things and all the things have gone wrong. Go here. Uh-oh. That one. And then create a dashboard. And then I think I'm okay. Stream manager. That's me. Yay! I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Am I good? I'm good. I think I'm good. Uh-oh. English red. I pre-write the tutorials and then we paint all together on stream. Oh, wow, that's clever. God, that's multitasking at its finest. Fill that in. Go back to my brush. That's gorgeous work. Absolutely gorgeous work. And if you want to pop your other socials in chat, Lana, I'm happy for you too. Because Lana has an oh, I missed. Undo. Other socials as well. And her own website. So on YouTube, Lana Goes Art, same name. Pop a follow on YouTube. Everyone loves YouTube. Oh my goodness, I keep missing the doodah. Undo. That's fine. Go back to here. What did I miss? All right, I'll just do it manually. Whoops, Daisy, I didn't want to do that. Undo. Control Z. And then hit the brush. I have to think then. Also, I'm on Mastodon and Blue Sky. No Instagram. Oh, you got rid of Insta. Yeah, I've got a Blue Sky. I've been very slack on Blue Sky. I've been very slack. I've been doing my Insta TikToks, lots of TikToks. Short TikTok. Do you have a TikTok? TikTok's really good for shorts as well, I find. My TikToks do really quite well. But it's basically just your short format video. I just do a minute. You can do a couple. No TikTok. Give it a go, Lana. Give it a go. It's actually quite surprisingly good. All right. going to try again this one. I'm just going to block that one. I can delete the drawing at the very end. Is it going to work for me now? Yay! Okay. Just literally just going around the outline, making sure the line's closed so it holds everything as if you're pouring the bucket into the water. I actually believe you, but it's nice. Feels nice with notes. Yeah, fair. Fair. I just do it because I'm a shareaholic. I love following other artists, and I'm forever. I can doom scroll on TikTok. Oh, undo. And the time lapses are so cool. YouTube's still my favourite though, I think. YouTube and Twitch are my favourites. One. All right, so I've just blocked that in. What I'm going to do before I even start on this bottom wing, I'm going to pop in a little bit of feathery detail. I'm going to go I've got to go to a light white. So go down here. Actually, I'm going to go to my palette. If I go, there's a pure white there. I want to go to a pure white. I'm going to go to a different brush. I'm going to go maybe soft brush like that, and I'm going to start to just add a little bit of feathery texture. And this is just, see, and if you look at my brushes, I've got traditional brushes. I've got like pens. My favorite in traditional is what I've got in my palette here. So I've pretty much got the same brushes as if I was traditional. I haven't gone for all the fancy dancy ones. I've got a nice marker pen, a nice watercolour brush, a thicker sort of a pen, my fountain pen, which I do drawing with because I love drawing with a fountain pen, my blender, which is basically a cotton bud, a scumbly brush. Yeah, so I use the same brushes as if I was natural, drawing traditionally. I don't, you know, people say, oh, digital art, it's not real art. I use it exactly the same as traditional. So anyone who's sort of scared of giving it a go because digital was sort of overwhelming, give it a go. You can do it exactly the same way. Those regular brushes in Krita, no, they just came with Krita. They came with Krita. You can get all kinds of fancy dancy ones, but you just don't need them. You had trouble finding brushes, you're like, oh, yeah, no, these ones came with it. I'm sure they did. Because, yeah, they're just standard brushes and my fountain pen. You need to give it a go. It's fun. It is fun. So this is very rough for now. I'm just getting a little bit of texture and shape in. Last time I used the pencil. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I use my dip pen. I love my dip pen. I love my ink drawing. So, I've got much more brushes on Procreate on iPad. I follow a fellow artist who mainly does human portraits, but he's got beautiful brush sets. I do the line art for the tutorials digitally. Oh, drawing on paper first and then scan it and then trace it digitally. Wow, okay. You know what? Lots of people do that though because it saves on. I really like that with digital that I can I can send the file immediately. Like there's no wait time. People can print it to whatever quality they want. Because I do it traditional style, they can print it onto watercolour paper. I'm just going to add these. These aren't white, but I'm using the white as the base on his feathers. This is not going to end up white. It's a more of a taupey colour on his wings, but this is the base layers being built up. I just feel that it shows better digitally to people. Yes, step by step is done on paper. Yeah. And it's easier, like I find with drawing tutorials, it is easier when they can see the pen and how you hold the pen and how you use the pen. But I just adore my dip pen and ink in real life and normally, except to set up my, I had to dismantle my drawing setup, my traditional drawing setup, to be able to do this. Like because I didn't have enough desk space to have it all set up. So I dismantled my, I'm just going to stick with this brush for a second. Yeah, I dismantled my traditional drawing camera setup because I had to connect everything in to use my iPad and my huion canvas. Block that in. So I need to reset up another drawing camera setup. But that'll come with time. That'll come with time. Actually, I need to darken that, so I need to go to this stronger one. I'm going to go over all that again with this stronger brown. And you can see, even though that's the same colour that I used before, because I've used a different brush, it affects the paint quality differently. It gets stronger. The different brushes will give you that you get different, what's the word? Different effects and different consistencies of colour. Like, you know, watercolour, you use a watercolour brush, it'll be more washed out. If you use, because I'm using sort of like an acrylic rough brush, like a sort of a bajaggedy brush that's got, you know, ragged edges, I get a different consistency of paint on the paper. So it really does affect differently. It's going to go a bit darker down here, more of a chocolatey colour. Start to build up. I'm still on that softish brush. So yeah, the different brushes do give you different effects. And I like how this one has soft edges, like when you sort of scruff it down, it has the softer edges. And this bird has got such mottled downy feathers. Like I can make my brush smaller a little bit. What am I doing? I need to make my picture bigger so you guys can see it better. There we go, that's better. It's going to add a few of these little feathery textures in. I like zoom too. And you can see the painting's not perfect. It's very sort of sketchy to put a sort of traditional, like in a traditional art way. It looks like a sketch. You know, you see people sort of fussing about the lines being perfect and the brush strokes being perfect, and it doesn't have to be. It can be very painterly. I like painterly. I still want you to look at my painting and say, oh, I see what they did there. I can stand for hours at a museum looking at paintings and wondering how they did the brush strokes and try and do it myself. And, you know, and I want that with my digital. I want them to look at it and go, oh, Dante joined me. I'll brush his teeth. Oh, do it. Can't have a Dante with dirty tooths. Dante can't have dirty tooths. All right, come down and around. I've got to brush Bear's teeth because he's got stinky breath. He's got death breath. His breath smells like his back end. So I've got to brush his teeth too. All right, come down here. Again, just keeping everything simple-ish. Building up the areas. He doesn't like it, but he doesn't dislike it either. Well, that's not bad. I don't think anyone likes having their teeth brushed, me included. I like the afterwards, but I'm not real keen on the doing it part. I'm getting old and my teeth are sensitive. All right, I'm just going to add a little bit of modelling now around under his beak. I like brushing teeth. Oh, you're strange. In a good way. I hate brushing my teeth because I've got super sensitive teeth, like a heat and cold sensitive. I've got hardly any enamel left on them, I reckon. You know, it happens when you're halfway to 100. They feel so nice and polished, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out a little bit and see how that looks. So when you zoom out, that's looking all right. We're getting there. We're getting the basics. Having a quick look. I'm going to add a little bit. He needs a little bit more of a reddy brown. I'm going to go back into the reds. Back into, that's more of an orange. Go back into the reds, reddy browns. I'm going to pop a little bit of that in around his eye. And you can see it's just a matter of backwards and forwards, adding colours, taking colours away, layering. It's all very traditional. I can see he's got white. And I jump around a bit too. I do tend to jump around, which is what I do when I'm traditional as well. I'll move backwards and forwards from spots. I don't work on one part of the painting at once. I work across the whole painting. I do tend to build up the whole painting at once. And I'll do that with everything. Every kind of drawing, painting, I'll jump around. Don't know why that is. It's just my ADD. That'll be what it is. It's my ADD. Issues. I just jump all over the shop. Goodness gracious, great balls of cotton fluff. All right. He's got that grey comes around his beak. Around the edge of his beak. Zoom out a fraction. Have a look. Yep, I'm happy with that. All done. God, that was quick. You're efficient. Okay, I'm going to make the doodah bigger. Whoops, that's smaller. Now I'm going to go back in with my reddy brown. Actually, I need it a bit stronger, that one. And model up. Because he's got a multitude of feathery colours. It's got reds, light reds, browns, creams. Got all the colours on his head, all the browns that are in him all over his whole body. He doesn't fight, so I brush through them all and gets some. Oh, he gets some spray. Do they have breath spray for doggos? I didn't know that was a thing. That's fancy dancy. Did not know that was a thing. And I don't even mind if a little bit of the background blue shows through. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go that chocolate colour under here. Yeah, there is one which is supposed to taste like liver. Nice, yum. Who doesn't love a bit of liver? A sliver of liver. Okay, I'm going to pop. Actually, liver pate. Nice. With a bit of biscuit. Okay, come down and around here. For him, it's great, yeah. As long as he's a happy puppy, it's all good. I'm going to make my brush a bit smaller. And as I get on with the picture, I see things that need altering, and that's fine. I'll get there. Like, I'll work my way around, and then I'll see bits that can be altered. He's starting to get form. Just like I said, it's a matter of building up layers, building up the form. Let's see what time it is, 8:30. All right. Ever tried that spray? No, I don't know that I would. If it's a doggy spray, nah, stay away from it. Might not be good for humans. All right, so I'm going to zoom out a bit and have a look. Okay, starting to come together. Starting to get there. I'm going to add a little bit of this darker brown. I'm going to drop the opacity though. I can remember how to drop the opacity. There we go. So it's the same colour, but pale, more pale. In around the edges of his face feathers. I'm going to add a little bit of a blue-grey in around, actually no, not that one. I'm going to go a bit more grey. I'll zoom in a bit. Nope, that's not it. Button did I press? That one. Nope. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Where was I working? Oops, that was so 5 seconds ago. Oh yeah, in here. Adding a little bit of blue-grey around the outside of his eye. Just little bits, little snippets. I can actually add that onto this eye as well. Just add a shadowy bit over the top. Like that. Go a darker chocolate. So I'm going to go to that brown and then go up into the really dark chocolates. I've got to take the opacity back up. I can remember how. That one. That one. Opacity up to 100. Brush size down. Whoops, no, that's not it. Undo. Control Z. What happened then? Chocolatey brown. That's the one. Go super dark. In the underneathy bits. Darken up around the edge here. Come around here. Darker around there. And then it's darker up here. I'm just looking for dark shapes now. Looking for his dark shapes. And darken up around the edge of his eye there. Like that. Under here. Can add a bit of texture and brown in here. That. Might even add a little bit onto his beak. I'm going to blend. I'm actually going to blend a little bit. Oops, make it smaller. I'm going to blend, soften it a little bit around his eye. Let's blend all those colours together a little. Like that. Just to soften it a little bit. Same with under his little beak here. Just want to blend it all in again a little bit. I'm going to pop a highlight on his eye. I'm going to use my I've got one pupil bigger than the other, I think, but I can adjust that. Go back to my darkest dark and just make that iris a bit, that pupil a bit bigger. And you can see I just build up, build up, build up, build up, buttercup. I'm going to go onto his beak now. I'm going to draw his beak in. Nostril there I can see. Down and around. That. And then I can blend that down and that'll blend it into that grey. Following the direction of the beak, exactly as if you would if you're painting. I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight. I'll use the bluish grey there. Little bit of a highlight. I have to leave now. Tomorrow starts early. Absolutely, Dale. Thank you so much. And it's always lovely hanging out with you, Lana. Hang on, I'm just going to go. I've got to do a shout out. Another shout out to my mate Lana. Shout out at Lana Goes Art. Anyone who has not followed, please do, because otherwise you are missing out. And you don't want to miss out on an amazing artist like Lana. Very entertaining, lovely person, and a brilliant artist. Have an awesome rest, Dale, and I will see you when I'm looking at you. All right, so I'm going to go back to my brown, back to my rough brush, that one, second brush. Ooh, make it smaller. There we go. And I'm going to take this colour now, start to go down his belly. Actually, I should probably. Oh, you're the best. Thank you. You're a sweetheart, doll. It's always lovely to catch up. Always lovely. Always have a laugh with you. Awesome. All right. So I'm just going to block in some of these darker colours. Start to build up his little body a bit now. I can fine tune the rest of him sort of towards the end. I'm going to darken up in here. I'm going to add a little bit of light. Go a lighter colour into his face a bit. I'm just mixing it up, fiddling and fussing till I get things where I want them. Make him look a bit more three-dimensionalness. He's got shadows all over him too, so I'm going to start to model in. Keep trying to do it with my fingers. I want to blend with my fingers. Yay. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of light, and as you can see, I'm still jumping around. I'm doing light feathers, dark feathers. I need to go to lighter tans, not whites under here. It's not white under there. He's got lighter sort of tan colours. I'll give him some ruffled feathers right at the end, so the finer detail goes on at the very end. Now I'm going to move this up. There we go. Move him up so you can see him a bit better. Like that. Again, following the direction of the feathers. Keep your brush strokes going the direction. You've always got to keep everything going the right direction. Back goes down like that, so follow that, keep the feathers going that direction. He's got layers of feathers on his back here, his tail feathers come down, so I'm just going to draw in some scribbles like that. Build that up. We'll go to a darker colour. Check my phone, still waiting on a phone call from the vet. This light tanny colour come around the edge of that wing there. Come around the edge of this wing here, following the direction the feathers would go naturally. I'm going to go back into my darker brown, chocolatey brown, and fill in. Hello, Gil Bahase. Welcome. What art program? I'm using a krita. I'm very new to it. Absolutely love it because I can get my painterly effects, but I'm using krita. And the other, if you go to my YouTube channel or my other videos, I also use Procreate on my iPad. I use that for just sketching when I'm sitting around the TV at night. I do a lot of drawing on my iPad as well, and for that I use Procreate. But yeah, I've got friends who used krita and I follow, and I just loved the look of it. I loved that they could get painterly effects and have it look like a real painting, like a traditional painting. I shouldn't say real, it's all real, but it's, yeah, awesome. I have krita, but I never usually use it, but I've been told I should for the effects. It is I can get my traditional style quite comfortably. There's a million more options that I've never tried, but yeah, I recommend give it a go. Get in there and watch a couple of tutorials first. I had to, because I really had no idea. But I tend to stick very traditionally. My techniques are very traditional. Like, I wouldn't do it any different if I was doing it with acrylic. I would do nothing differently. I was using an acrylic paint. I use exactly the same techniques. So I highly recommend it. And it's, if I can do it, anyone can do it, because I am the least computer literate person on the face of the planet. The absolute least complete computer literate person you'd ever meet. So if I can use this, anyone can. And there's so many more options that I will never touch on. Like there's things that I'll never be able to do or won't even attempt, because don't know how. You can call me Jill. My name is written in Gaelic. Oh, wow! That's cool. Very cool indeed. It's wonderful to see the old languages. Do you still speak Gaelic? Like, do you know Gaelic as a... But it's lovely to meet you, Jill. Thank you. Lovely to meet you indeed. I love meeting my friends from all over the planet. Actually, yes. Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. So cool indeed. Now I've got to darken his tail off. Just adding layers. And I will go over the whole top of this with like a wash, a glaze. I'm just using traditional terminology because it works. So I will go over the back of his tail when I'm doing the shadows with a glaze. I'll darken up underneath, which will just create a shadow over the whole top. I'll add the shadows and stuff last. Keep the softness of the feathers. I got it, and no, they don't have, they're never flat. There's always ruffled feathers. That's what I did the other day when I did the little booby bird. I added ruffled feathers and it really made a difference. But I did that on iPad. So I can't share that on here. Or I probably could. I can show you what I did on the iPad. But I didn't take a screenshot. It's a video. I won't worry. If you want to pop over, my links are all below to my YouTube and everything. If you want to see how I work digitally on iPad, which is even easier than this. But I love the size. I love being able to work at a full size. Like this is a, you know, I can work on an A4 size painting, or I can actually do poster size up on this, which is really cool. That's what I love about Krita, is you're not limited at all to size. Not at all. I can do, I'm going to do, we've got a storage container out the side of the house and I'm going to do a mural on it. But I'm going to do it, pre-do it on this, and then I'll spray it. Spray paint it. But I'll draw it up on here in its actual size. I'm going to do a big ocean scene. I'm going to make it smaller so I can see the whole picture. There we go. Okay, that's all right. All right. Just working my way around. It's quite rough. And like I said, 2 layers. I'm doing 2 layers. Technically, I've got 4 here, but that's because I don't know what I did with the first 2. So, as you do. I've got the background, I've got the drawing, and then I've got the colour. I don't work on a bazillion layers. So if I make a mistake, I've still got to do what I would do traditionally and erase and start again and rework things. I can't just make it disappear because I'm doing it very traditionally. So I'm quite happy with that for an effect for the beginning. When I was in art school years ago, my professor had a rule about using digital. If I could make the brush stroke look like a traditional brush, then I could use digital. I was the only student in the class to be able to do it, but she ended up helping me set everything up so every brush, pencil, pen looked like it was supposed to. That is cool. That's what I love about Krita. The brushes are very traditional. Like I've got my fountain pen that I use for everything, because I love to draw with fountain pens in real life. I've got my 3 rough, like a thick textured brush. I've got a middle sort of size textured brush and a thin textured brush. I've got my cotton swab thing that I use for blending. So anything that I would use, it gives you the option. Anything that I would use in real life, it gives you, in traditional, it gives you the option in Krita. And I love it. I don't know what the old apps were like. I only got into digital a year or 2 ago. She was able to do it with Photoshop. Wow. Yeah, Photoshop's old school good. Like, it's the best. If you can use Photoshop, you can use anything. To be honest, if you can use Photoshop, you can use anything. My daughter's a photographer, and she does the most amazing stuff with Photoshop. Her edits are beautiful. Yeah, if you can use Photoshop, you can use anything. It's complex, but geez, the quality is insane. I follow a few Photoshop artists, and they are just stunning. Absolutely stunning. You know, there's a bottomless supply. I don't have the memory. The memory on my computer is not big enough for Photoshop. I still use Photoshop, but I also use Clip Studio Paint. Okay, I've heard good things about Clip. I've never tried it, but I've literally started with. I follow a fella on here called Blue Skittle, and he does the most magnificent digital art on Krita. I'm like, mate, I want to do what he does. I've actually got. I can show it. I've got a picture, a little tiny scene that he did. I don't know whether it'll show on the camera there. I bought that from Blue. It's a critter, it's a whale coming out of a cloud, and there's a ship here. Where is it? There. That's a ship. You can't really see it. But that's a whale coming out of a big sweeping cloud. And I was like, oh my God, I so want to do, like I want to be able to do that. It's very intuitive and acts a lot like PS, but PS has more robust colour palette. Okay. Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's you gotta find what best suits your technique and your style. I find, I'm finding that this is very acrylic. Like, it seems very acrylic. But I can also get oil technique. Oh, hang on, I'll go back to my palette. How do I go file? How do I go back to my, I don't know how to go back to my images. Afterwards, I'll show you. You can get, very oil painterly, and I've never had the patience for oil paint in real life, in traditional, because I just haven't got the patience to wait weeks for things to dry. But I found an oil set, like in here, that actually creates that oil painterly effect, and I've done, like, they've done well. I've sold a few, but I love that I can make merch of them too. Like, I can put them on cups and mugs and print them off and have. I've actually got a mug of my cup of my owl, one of my owls that I did, because I do love painting owls. I'm just blocking. This is just blocking, very roughly blocking. I had the patience right up till my cat walked through it and tracked it all over the house. Oh no! Oh my word! Oh, that's not good. Oh, the nightmare. The nightmare. Hell no. Oops. What did you do? How did you fix? Could you fix? Bugger. That's not coming out. Oops. That's pull up the carpet and put down floorboards is what I say. Which is pretty much, I'm in my art room. I've got a rubber mat. I went to Bunnings, which is like a hardware store here in Australia. And I bought big industrial rubber, like garage flooring, and I've sat that in here. Not that I'm painting anything anymore, but I didn't want to wreck my floorboards because I'm a messy. When it comes to traditional, I get paint everywhere. I wear it like it's all over the shop. Yeah, little but footy prints all over the house. Oh no! But sort of cute. in a not good way. Still sort of cute. I use a formula to get out stones. Wow! I was in my studio. Oh, thank God for that. Wow, how would you be? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. What do I do? Undo, Control Z. I really like Control Z. Just saying. That is one real benefit. I'm going to go down here to my palette. No, I'm not. Am I? Yes, I am. Can I have a look at my palette? Nope, I can't. Okay, I want to go white. Cold white. That's the one. And I'm going to... Cold white's really a pale blue. From the looks of that. Okay. The lighter stuff was through the house and those were easy. Okay, cool. It's still horrifying. The visuals, I'm just, my brain's just like, I'd cry. I'm actually going to go back to my fountain pen now. I'm going to draw in these feathers. I'm just going to draw in some detail over the top. Just start to add in a little bit of texture. You know, I've only done 1 hour painting and it was digital, but I'm told it looked amazing, although I feel it was a fail. It's amazing. It's funny what you think is a fail and what other people see. Everyone's taste is different. Some of my pieces that I absolutely love, no one is interested in. I love the detail. I love the photorealism. People like my not quite so realistic stuff. And I've put things on. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't put that on because it's not going to do well. And it goes crazy. Like it'll get 12,000 views. And then something that I absolutely love will get 50 views. Everyone's different. It was a fail because it was a lower resolution. Oh no, don't you hate that? I've only just recently learnt about resolution. That's a new thing to me too. That is a very new thing. I have very strong resolution. I do the 6,000 PPI or whatever it's called. I'm talking entire inflation now, I think. DPI? PPI? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, you know what I mean. You speak me. Now have a sip of my coffee. I forgot my coffee. Lucky it's in a thermal cup. Like this is all looking very flat at the second. I still need a ton of shadows. Oh. Which I will go over the top. I'm going to add texture in here. Yeah, it was done at like 300 or something. I usually have to set it much higher. Yeah, 600. 300's supposed to be okay for printing. I've done work at 300 before and it's been okay. I mean, to an A4 size. Like you wouldn't print it above an A4 size. But as a standard sort of piece of paper size, it's not too bad. You can get away with it. I'm going to go for the dark brown now and I'm going to drop the opacity. And I'm going to make my brush size a bit bigger. I'm going to go, oops, and I'm going to undo that because that looks really messy. And I'm going to go to my soft airbrushy looking thing. I'm going to go over the top. I need to drop the opacity. I want it to be pale. See through. I want to be able to see the underneath stroke. So this is basically how I would do a wash. I'm going to come down over the top of these. Like that. Just still leaving so you can still see the textures and stuff. Come under here. Go over the top of all of that. Like that. See, that starts to give him a little bit of shadow. Now I'm going to do that on his tail as well. His bottom and his back has got a little bit of a shadowy area. Right, most people want to enlarge it. Yeah, that's the trap. That's the trap. Yeah, I usually do mine 600 DPI and then they can do it whatever they want. over this. But there have been occasions where I've forgotten. It's gonna... So he's starting to come together. Starting. I've got to sort of shadow over this eye a little bit. Got shadow coming into here. I'll have to go a darker shadow. He's much darker here, so I'm gonna. What am I gonna do? I've got to up the opacity a bit. Make it a bit stronger on this side. It's coming up the back here, like that. So he's starting to look a little bit more three-dimensional. Takes a while. You get there. Wash over the top. So this is basically just a watercolour wash. I'm going to go over the tops of the wings and tidy up the edges later. I'm very scribbly. I'm very scribbly. Even when I'm traditional, I'm very scribbly. I'm not a perfectionist. Found it on, it's on ArtStation, almost forgot. I added it to portfolio. I'd show it to you, but I have no idea where I should. Oh! Okay, if you pop it in, pop a link, and I can pop on and have a look. That would be cool. If you don't mind me sharing, because I can put it on my screen, if you don't mind. Otherwise, I can just look at it and have a look. Okay, so he's starting to look all right. We're starting to look all right, but he's very scribbly. So now, what am I going to do now? I can start to build. I'm going to go to a soft sort of stippling brush. I'm going to go into a ready, more of a reddy brown. I've got my opacities full. I'm going to drop the size of my brush and start to now add a bit more feather detail in the directions of the feathers. I'm going to darken up the tips on these. And this is where we start to add a little bit more detail. You build up on your base layers. Exactly the same as traditional. Exactly the same. You just start at your base layers and you build up. Look. It's actually got very dark lines. This wing. If you want to pop a link into your portfolio, I'd love to have a look, Del. That would be awesome. I love checking out other artists. Absolutely love it. We all learn from each other. And I do love birds. I love drawing birds. Absolutely love it. Now here I'm going to get my white or my cream. I've got it, maybe a grey. I'm going to go a grey in here. And just ruffle up the edges. I want to get a bit more natural looking. Ooh, okay. So just bear with me because this is, I've got to do what I did with Lana. I've got to bring up, hang on, do that. Bring it up on this screen. Yep. Do that, and then I can share my screen. Hang on. Oh, wow! Oh my word! Wow. Okay, is it alright if I share? My word! You are a talented doobie. Hang on, I'm just going to go back to Switch and see if I can see your comment. Am I allowed to share? Because that is gorgeous work. Yes, you are. That is gorgeous. Can I share? Can I? I just want to share. Can I? Let me know. Sure. Okay, cool. So if I go here, so everyone check out this, hang on, share, right screen. Oh my word. Look Hang on, how do I scroll? I'm going to get me out of the way. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Shit, I pressed a button. Don't press a button. That there, the detail and the musculature is amazing. Her eyes are gorgeous. Her hair is stunning. The movement in that sketch is phenomenal. I love the spookiness of the wolves. Very werewolf oriented. That's insane. Love that. The frog is so cute. And your owl's amazing. I don't know how to click. Hang on. Click. Wow. Like your hands. Hands are so bloody hard. That is so cool. And to draw an owl with the wings spread, like I love feathers. I love feathers and I love wings and I love, like, look at that. Wow. Oh my God. Wow. Your portraits, your people are phenomenal. Okay, my mind is blown. Awesome work. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Like ridiculously awesome. Now I'm so excited I forgot how to do my thing. Hang on. Right screen, there we go. That is awesome. Amazing work. Do you stream? Do you stream? The book cover is a collage of 3 paintings. It's super wow. Super wow. I'm very, very like, wow. Portraits. I've dabbled in portraits and wow. It is not easy. It is not easy. Animals are far easier than people. And they look, your musculature and stuff. Like I follow a fellow called Stan Prokopenko on here, or he's on YouTube as well. He does amazing tutorials on portraiture. And I love portraiture. And the fact that you've designed a book cover as well. Is that for your own book or is that's for the Chronicles? I've illustrated one book. It wasn't my book, but I illustrated it. A little pony book, like a Pony Pals kind of a thing. And that was fun. That was good fun. I'm going to start to add a little bit of texture now. Got to go into a lighter tan on his wing. Start to fill in some of these colours now. Now, what have I done here? I've got, oh no, we're right. I can define the feathers at the end. I've just got to add in a bit more detail. I can't see my clock. Where's my clock? Building up, building up. Down and around here. So adding a little bit of texture. Doesn't have to be exact. Just got to suggest. You just got to suggest feathers. So when you look at this, it's just a massive scribbles. Thank you for the compliments. It means a lot. Oh, my pleasure, Dal. It's well warranted. Gee, Willikers, your work is amazing. Like to see the muscles. I know how hard people are. I can draw faces. I can get a pretty good likeness with the face, but your muscles are mind-blowing. Like that is super duper work. So do you have a channel? If you have a channel, I want you to share it, Dal. Pop a link in. If you stream anywhere, on any medium, on any platform, the muscles were an accident, mate. That's not an accident. That's a very happy accident. If that's an accident, I'm blown. My mind is blown. They are great. I'm actually going to go back to my fountain pen here. Whoops, whoa, that's not it. Undo, Control Z. Got a bit overzealous there. Make my pen really small, make my opacity really big. And then, oops, no, not that. Undo. You can see, I love undo. Undo is very good. I'm going to make my, oh, no, I don't like that. I'm going to undo that too. I've got to go back to my scruffy brush. That's better. Just got to remember to go the direction of the feathers. Add a bit of light in here. Just rough, sort of stippling. Like that. Again, the direction the wings go. around because it sort of roughs up around the edges of the feathers like that. I'll do you a shout out anyway, if I can spell your name. So let's give it a go. Shout out at that one. Ding, go up here, press that button, and then dink. There you go. Oh, you do! Awesome! Awesome, awesome. Shout out happened. Done. Dun, dun, dun. All right, now I'm going to go super dark, just around this outside edge at the bottom of the wing. I've managed to get, in real life, I'm a messy painter. And look, even digitally, I'm a messy painter. I've got paint. I've got a mark up here. That's a superpower. When you can do that in digital, when you can actually create a paint splatter mess in digital, that's a gift. That is a true gift. Again, following the directions of the feathers, get the texture right. I have my little vacuum cleaner, I can hear him. His name's Sucky McSuckface. He's vacuuming my house for me. As we speak, I can hear. It's got to define the top side. Find these feathers a little bit. Like that. We're starting to get there. Starting to come to fruition. I have to head off to work in a minute. I've got 20 minutes. So I'm not going to get this finished today. We'll get him half done. Then I'll come back tomorrow and finish the rest. All right, I'm just defining these wings, these feathers a little bit more. Sit back and have a look. I'm happy with that. And you can see it's just a massive lines and dots. It is not true sort of photorealism. It's very artsy, very painterly. I can delete, actually I could probably delete the underdrawing now if I can figure out how. You know what, I probably can't. I guess I don't know. I was going to delete the underdrawing, but hang on. No, hang on. Oh, I did it. That's the underdrawing gone. Okay, cool. What's happened there, though? What happened then? Hang on. No, put it back. Why? Oh. There we go. Let's scruff up his tummy feathers a little bit. I stopped soon after because I hurt my hands cleaning the studio and then needed surgery. Oh! And just after is when I caught the rheumatoid. Oh no! That's no good, doll. That's no good at all. That's what terrifies me, is if anything happened to my hands. I've been getting cramps and my hands have been locking, which is a bit scary. Because it's like a musician. What do? If you lose your art. I play piano as well. Love piano. But yeah, to lose my hands would be just, well, you get by, but it would be horrendous. All right, I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm going to put some orange into his eyes now. I'm going to go back into his eyes. I'm going to go back into a truer orange. A truer orange. Like that. And then I'm going to go back to a soft brush. That one. I'm going to drop the opacity. I'm going to drop the size. Right down. I'm going to make my picture bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Don't press that button. It's all my files. I'm going to pop a little bit of orange. Start to build up all of the colours. I've got to do a shadow over the top of his eye. So I'm going to go the grey, and I'm going to go, the opacity's low. I'm going to make the brush a bit bigger. Oh no, not that big. And then I'm going to go over the top of the edge. there's a shadow around that part of the eye. That eye is actually nearly all in shadow, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to darken up around the edges like that. Right. Now he's got a shadow here as well. I'm going to pop that shadow. I'm going to make the opacity a little bit more. Put that bluish coloured shadow. Well, the surgeries are what triggered it, but they got me on meds fairly quickly, and now it's mostly under control, but it took so very long, and I just had final surgery to fix the tendons that I messed up in both hands and just got the bandages off like 2.5 weeks ago. Well, congratulations on having the bandages off. Oh my God. Well, hopefully you can get back to creating when you feel better soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. Because, yeah, your work is amazing, doll. That's a lot to go through. That's a lot to go through. I'm going to shrink that down now and have another look. So here's where we start to see the shadow comes down behind his head there. That's almost all dark. I'm going to darken that even more. Lift up the opacity. Goal, I haven't been able to do anything for 3 months. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised, doll. Like, sounds like you're well. If you're driven, it'll happen. Add that grey in there. Just don't overdo it. Obviously, you're going to look after yourself. I know. I have faith that you will. I'm just going to darken up the details on the edges of these feathers. And then add a little bit of detail. It's got very dark. I'm going to go super dark actually here. I'm going to go full opacity. Keep my brush little though. I've got to define the edges of these feathers. That. But I'm leaving them jaggedy lines because feathers aren't smooth. The jaggedy lines. That. And then I come down here, scribble the outline, downward direction because that's the directions the feathers go. That. And right along the whole outer trim and feather. Same on this one. Come down and around like that. Down and around like that. I'm not happy with these feathers here. I've got to fix them. Not sure how, but I will. I'll work it out. So that gives them a little bit more definition. To be honest, I'm scared I'll have the Doctor Strange result where my hands don't work right. Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Not a good comparison. Oh, goodness gracious. Great balls of cotton fluff. I'm going to strengthen up feathers around his edge of his face. Oh, you know what I haven't done? I'm a twat. Hang on. Up. Up, up, up. Bigger, 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 bigger. I've got to work on his beak a bit more. I'm going to get a little bit of white. I'm going to go back to my dip pen. Yeah, but that's what was going through my mind. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what our minds do to us. Yay. Yay, mind. All right. Oh, I'll drop the opacity. I'm going to take that out this way a little bit. Got different colours coming off here. I'll blue off that light a bit, like that. Add some more shadow under here. I'm just working on shadowy bits now. I keep trying to shrink it with my fingers, like I've had. But we are actually, I'm going to have to, at this point, find someone to raid because I've got to go and work for my kids. I've got to get organised and get myself to their factory. So we're going to find someone to raid, Pete. So let's have a quick look. Let's go to Twitch. If I press the right buttons, that would be handy, wouldn't it? Go to Twitch. Actually, I've got my iPad. Let's do it on my iPad. Hang on. Oh, let's go. Have a look. See who's on Twitch. Let's raid someone, peeps. Let's find another artist. Ooh. Okay. Okay. we are going to raid Paintera. Oh my word, Paintera's doing the most beautiful octopus. I'm not sure if it's oil or acrylic, not sure, but oh my God, we've got to go and raid Paintera. So I'm just going to turn the thingy onto mute so we don't hear. So we're going to go / raid. I would love you all to come with me. Paintera is the most amazing artist. Gorgeous work. Does oils, does acrylic. Paintera Studios. Just gotta make sure I've spelt it right. Paintera Studio. There we go. Paintera Studio. Okay, so let's go. I would love you to come with me. This is an amazing artist. I will see you over there. Please, everyone, come. Otherwise, you're missing out. Okay. We about ready to raid? Raid now. I'll catch you later, guys.